It was a cold November night in 1989, and Berlin was holding its breath. For 28 years, a concrete monster had split the city in two. Families were divided, lovers separated, and dreams locked behind gray stone and barbed wire. On one side, the free world. On the other, a place where silence was survival, and a glance over your shoulder wasn't paranoia, it was routine. But this night was different. In a small East Berlin apartment, a young man named Lukas sat by the radio with his mother. They'd heard whispers all week, protests in Leipzig, murmurs of reform, even rumors that the border might open. But no one believed it. After all, the wall was more than stone. It was fear, and fear doesn't fall easily. Then the news anchor said it. Stumbling over his words, barely believing them himself. The borders are open. Citizens of the GDR are free to cross into the West. Lukas froze. His mother dropped the teacup in her hand, it shattered on the floor, but neither of them moved. "Is this real?" he asked. She didn't answer. She just grabbed his hand, trembling, and together they stepped into the night. The streets were filling, cautious at first, then faster, louder. People carried candles, cameras, and disbelief. Thousands surged toward the checkpoint at Bornholmer Strasse, where guards stood unsure, confused, hands on rifles they didn't want to use. One of the guards, a man named Harold, stared at the crowd. His orders were unclear. Do nothing. Hold the line. Wait, but how do you hold back history? A woman at the front yelled, "Let us see our families." A child held up a sign, Freiheit, freedom. And that was it. Harold stepped back. He gave the nod. The gates swung open. People cried, laughed, screamed. Strangers hugged. Westerners passed over champagne. A man climbed the wall with a hammer and struck the concrete that had caged his youth. Bits of history rained down like dust from a dying empire. That night, Lukas stood on top of the wall with his mother, staring out over a city finally whole. He looked around, took a breath of cold November air, and whispered, "We're free."